All right, welcome into another edition of Catching Up with Tommy Mac podcast right here on 1010XL's podcast platform at 1010XL.com. Of course, you check us on Facebook Live on 1010's page as well as my own personal page. You can always find us archived on the website at 1010XL.com, on their app as well. So get that download if you haven't already. Check out all the great content right here. My show brought to you by my friends at The Carpet Man. LVP stands for Luxury Vinyl Planking, the highest luxury at the lowest price. Trust me when I say that if you're in the market for flooring, if you're a developer, what have you, go check out The Carpet Man. He's going to take care of you. My friends here at 1010XL Studios, of course, love having them on board as well. All right, what a night. What a night in the 2023 NFL Draft. Hope your team's got what you thought was right, and you're happy about that. I think we're all pretty happy down here in Jacksonville with how it all went down for our team. But, man, the trades galore. It was so much fun. And, listen, I made it to the Jags pick. Like, normally I'd be asleep. I'd be like 11:30. I mean, and I'm the only one up. Everyone's asleep. Even the dogs are in the room sleeping. I got, I'm kind of lying on the couch trying to keep an eye on my, and then they trade, and then they trade again. I'm like, would you please make the gosh dang pick so I can go to sleep? Which they finally did, and then I went to bed. I didn't even stay. I was like, should I stay for the last four, finish the whole draft? I'm like, nah, screw it. I'll take the 20 minutes. Good morning to Graham Marsh. How are you, buddy?
Good morning, sir. How are you doing?
You were down at the Jaguars draft party down at Daly's place.
That is correct.
It was a good crowd I saw. Huh?
Oh, great crowd. Great crowd.
Did the rain come in? Did it rain?
It did, yeah.
It did, man. It's been raining like crazy around here.
It was pretty off and on. It was weird. Of course, like around like 4 or 5, it was like hailing outside. It was really coming down.
Yeah, right.
And then it stopped for the most part, like as people kind of were coming in, parking and coming in to to Daly's and everything. Yep. And then it kicked back up. Maybe 9:30, something like that. Yeah. But you got a roof.
No, I know. Listen, it was nasty
so
at the beach. I was going to go out. I was going to go to Monkey's Uncle and hang out, and then the rain came in. I'm like, I don't feel like going out. I'm going to chill right here and eat some food and drink some wine and watch the draft. And I thought it was a great draft. What's up, my friend G. Con? He's a huge Steeler fan. Yeah, they did well. Broderick Jones, nice pick, and they got the first pick in the second round. Joey Porter Jr., maybe, who knows? It's going to be look, the second and third rounds are fun as heck, too. I know the first round's got all the hype and the hoopla, and it's kick-ass, don't get me wrong. But that second and third round, you get some really, really good football players, and hopefully they're a good mix. I think you're going to see some movement again in that second round. Of course, the Jags are loaded with ammo. They have 11 picks. Now, not a lot of, second, third, and that, but they've got 2 in the fourth and 3 in the sixth, 1 in the fifth, and 2 in the seventh, I think, something like that. If that adds up to 11, then I am dead on correct, but I don't know if it does.
It is. It's 11.
Does it? Thank you.
Yeah,
thanks,
but
appreciate it.
There's no way you end up with 11 more bodies.
No, but I bet you end up about 7 or 8.
Yeah, which is good. That's a better number.
Yeah, and listen, the value chart, I've never really seen one, but there is a value chart. We were going through it on Jaguars today with Mike Dempsey and Fat Tony and E to the T. And it takes a lot to move up in the second round. I mean, a lot. You'd almost be giving up all your picks until like the 6th round, like if to move up into that top tier of the second round from 56. I can see them moving up a little bit, but I don't know. That's a lot of draft capital to move up, and depends who you're going for, I guess. There's plenty of talent left. But let's get into the first round. AFC South. Houston, Texas. Look, I know they're our rival, but that was a ballsy-ass move last night, bringing in that third pick, man. After the second, I love that they grabbed Stroud. Didn't listen to all the naysaying crap, but they had a plan. Like, look, we could get both of them. They obviously knew he wasn't going to last till 12. Right, Stroud, if they went Anderson first, right? They take Stroud, and then next thing you know, boom, a trade. You're like, you thought a trade. I thought Indy trying to get up. No, Houston's trading up from 12 to take over Arizona to take Will Anderson. I mean, what a ballsy move, and good for them. 2 young stud college football players that, hopefully and should, I think they will, their game will translate into the NFL. I thought it was fun, man. And what a ballsy move, to be honest with you, and I get it. Hey, look, that's where the value board. Hey, look, you got the 12th pick and you want to move up. That 12th pick's got a ton of value. I don't know what they had to add to it. I think they had to add something to it, which brings up the value even more. But I thought that was a great move. I think the biggest, I shouldn't say the biggest, one of the biggest, and I'm happy for Anthony Richardson. I think it's awesome. 13 games as a start. He's like, I'm going in the draft. He's what do you end up? 3rd overall to the Indianapolis Colts. 4th overall to the Indianapolis Colts.
Will Anderson was 3rd.
Correct. Thank you. He's a big project. There's no doubt about it. He does have all the physical tools. There's no doubt. He can throw it. He can run it. He's big. He's got a rocket for an arm. I think they can utilize him right away in terms of running, maybe throwing a little bit too. We'll see how they break him in. Is he the guy day one or not? But that's a project. That's not like Stroud and Bryce, they're your opening day starter. I would think, without question. I mean, that's how I'm prepping him. I don't know if I'm prepping Anthony Richardson to be my opening day starter, although when you're taking number 4 overall, you probably should be the number 1 starter, unless you have some kind of luxury, Gardner Minshew's there. I wouldn't call him a luxury. He can hold down the fort till he's ready, but I thought that was an interesting move. And look, it shouldn't have been Will Levis because he fell. And I feel bad. I don't know why people applaud people's demise. Did the kid say anything like? I know he's a little, he's got a little air about him, that kind of thing. But he's not. I mean, he's not a bad guy. I don't know.
No, he's just weird.
Yeah. Okay. Good-looking family, though. I know every male in America saw that. Good-looking family. How about Lucas Van Ness's dad? Did you see that on video on Twitter?
No.
So allegedly, supposedly. The pick's in, Lucas going to Green Bay, blah, blah, blah. The girlfriend turns to the dad and big hug. Allegedly, it's the girlfriend of Lucas Van Ness. The dad gives her a hug, and as she turns away, he gives her a whap, whap on the backside. You're like, whoa. And it's on Twitter. You go check it out. It's hilarious. Like, yeah, pink, pink. Like, whoa, hang on. Got Urban Meyer all over again. I'm just kidding. We don't. But that was pretty funny overall. But look, I do feel bad. I always feel bad when someone's in the green room and they don't get called. It must suck. I wonder when he'll get drafted. I know there is the toe, I guess. He may have to have surgery after the first year, supposedly. He says he's played with it for a while so he can handle it. I don't know. Maybe they got scared of that. Maybe it was the attitude. I don't know. But that kid does have the physical tools. He does. And I know last year wasn't that great. The year before was a lot better when he had that different coordinator who's now with the L.A. Rams. He was his offensive
he's back
coordinator.
In Kentucky now, actually.
He's now back in Kentucky?
But this past year, he was in L.A.
He was in L.A.
Liam Cohen.
Yeah, so that's right, Liam Cohen. We talked about him in the past. So who knows? Maybe they get a steal. I hope the kid gets picked up soon. Any of those guys. Joey Porter Jr., he's sitting there too. By the way, you probably didn't watch any of the pregame stuff. I watched a lot of it. I thought it was fun. These kids come out just bling, 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 suits. Everyone. They're looking sharp. They're looking good. Zay Flowers came out. He had rings. He looked really sharp, man. He's a little guy, by the way. My gosh, but he is electric.
Sorry, go ahead.
No, you go. I was just going to say, when Brian Branch came out, because they had him all the guys that were there invited come out and they introduced him, I was like, it's not smaller than I thought he'd be. He just didn't look that big. Could have been a camera angle or not. I don't know. It kind of turned me off. I was like, I don't know, man. And then nobody picked him in the first round. He's another guy. He's going to be right there. Osiris Torrance is going to be right there.
Branch, Torrance, Porter Jr., Nolan Smith, all still available.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Wait, Nolan Smith, I thought he got picked.
Oh, he did get picked.
Yeah, the Eagles picked. How about that?
Not Nolan Smith, sorry. They're the other three.
And by the way, Jalen Carter, I know it's emotional. So when he got picked, they have the camera on him. He's very emotional. I get it. And then Drew Rosenhaus, his agent's right behind him, kind of talking into his ear. And I don't know what he's saying, but it just threw me off. Like, wow, I hope everything's okay with this young man. Like, it just seemed like you could tell he was on the verge of really breaking down, crying. I get it. I mean, with what went on and everything, but I don't know. It was Drew like, hey, man, get it together. Get it together. We got marketing to do, I don't know. It was just very, very interesting. But nonetheless, these guys will get picked. And you know what? I know the first round, and I wasn't drafted, so I don't really have room to speak. The first round's all about the glitz and the glamour and the 40 time and how high you jump. Yes, the play on the field has to match. There's no doubt about it. A lot of those guys won't amount to a ton. Some will, or a good amount will. But second, third, fourth round, those are still some really, really good football players. And think about this. Throughout the history of the league, 5th, 6th, 7th rounders, undrafted guys, back when they had 8 rounds or 12 rounds or 15 rounds, guys making it to the Hall of Fame. You just never know where you're going to find that talent. So I think it's going to be a great weekend. I'm going to be, by the way, Dad Bods up at Whiskey Jack's tonight in Atlantic Beach on Atlantic Boulevard. Take stage at 8:30. The draft will be on, so come on out. I'll even throw in a little commentary. Now, if I've been drinking, I don't know what's going to come out of this mouth, which I probably will be drinking. But nonetheless, it will be a great night. I thought the Eagles, great. Look at those. Their past 4, the last 2 years with the 4 Georgia players. They're all badass players. That's going to be fun to watch.
They can't keep getting away with this.
No, I know. Bears get Darnell Wright. I thought that was good. I thought that that was a good move by them. I think he's going to be a really good piece to the puzzle. And, good stuff all around. Look, I like the Jags pick. This is what I like about Anton Harrison, okay? And we're going to get into Cam in a minute because I got some thoughts on that. But first of all, I think they make this pick even without Cam with the suspension. I think they knew for a little bit. I don't know how long, but it wasn't like they didn't find out when the public found out. They've known that something's going on because they're testing his B sample. So the A sample's already been tested. That's the appeal. Just so you know, it goes in 2, right? You do it in 1. They pour a little in the A and the B. They seal it up, and then they send it out. So that B sample's there for the appeal. So they're waiting on that. And depending on what he took will depend upon his suspension. But, look, at the end of the day, he's got 2 more years on a 3-year contract. They may be looking for more of the future as well, right? So, and I think this Harrison, look, he's big. He's got great feet. His punch, they say, is phenomenal. He finishes blocks, which I freaking love. And he's good in pass protection. Now, I'll give you this stat, although I don't think it matters. Having a little trouble on the live stream over here, but we'll get to it. Look, I think that I forgot where I was going with that. But look, I think he's going to be a guy. I know what I was saying. I'd play him. He's my left tackle. I would. And the stat is he gave up 0 pressures and 400, whatever. I don't know who the hell he's playing against. I want to see who he goes against. I'll tell you this, the kid from the Felix kid from Kansas State who went 31st, I think.
He went to the Chiefs.
He called him the best left tackle that he went against in his career. Very good feet, good hands, whatnot. So I like him. Look, Cam is what it is. Whatever. We'll find out what happens, right? We don't know what's going to happen. There's going to be some kind of suspension. I saw where it could be 2, 6, or 8 games. The 8 would be very significant, of course, almost half the year. I think they make the pick anyway. And I'll tell you what, if they get a chance to get that Torrance kid out of Florida, I'd be good with that too, without question. I think that would be a good pick for this team. And then you got the O-line. Think about it.
Badass O-line,
Harrison,
man.
Torrance. You would have Fortner, Scherf, Little. 4 out of the 5 are young. That's huge. And they could be one of the better offensive. And you got Phil Rosher, who I'm a big fan of. Never met him. I just know this. He made our offensive linemen a lot better with his technique training and how he coaches them up. I'll say that and say that with full distinction because conviction. He does, man. He is great. Hey, real quick, do you want to congratulate Devon Hamilton for getting his extension? Look, they're keeping it all together. They believe in their guys, and that's more than half the battle. The 21 out of 22 returning starters, they believe in them. And guess what? Like we've said here many a time, and we did during the year, the defense really started putting it together that last month. I think it was at halftime of Dallas. And from then on, they got better and better and better. I think the play calling was better. I think the execution was better. Look what they did with Roy Robertson Harris. They didn't do it for why'd they give him an extension? Because they're counting on that last month that he played some outstanding ball. That's going to be what they're looking forward to in the future, right? Same with Devon Hamilton. Same with the entire defense. Okay? Now, on the flip side of that, people might say, well, Tom, why aren't we going defense in the draft? Now, think of this. If they don't love people in the draft on the defensive side, let's just say they don't. Doug Peterson believes in what? Offense. He believes in what kind of offense? Passing offense. He believes in scoring more points, like they all do. You can get by with having an okay defense, is what I'm getting at, if you've got a high-profile, high-potent offense. Yes, you want the badass defense. Everybody does, but that may take a little bit more time. The real key to building this thing for 2023 is making sure my offense is even better than it was at the end of last year. Right? That's what it, at least in my opinion, that's why I get the Anton Harrison. I get if they go another offensive piece of the puzzle, maybe Torrance, I don't think they'll get him unless they got to give up a lot if he goes that high. If Osiris Torrance ends up in that high 40, low 50, yeah, you could see them moving up 10 spots. You could be moving up 20, 25, that's pretty challenging. That's pretty challenging to do based on that system.
The other reason that drafting offense makes sense, and again, it depends on who's available and the value and all that. But currently, take away Harrison because that's this draft. Before this draft started, other than Fortner, Lawrence, and Etienne, who Lawrence, you're going to pay Trevor Lawrence next year. So really just Fortner and Etienne. All of their cheap rookie deals are all on defense. They're all on the defensive side of the ball. So you needed some of that young, cheap talent on offense, which is exactly why they drafted Anton Harrison, in my opinion, because not only do they consider him a very good player, not only do I believe Trent Baalke
cost him a lot.
That he was, but yeah, exactly.
Rookie contracts.
They have screamed to us this offseason that they are not extending Cam Robinson.
Right.
They've extended everybody.
Right.
And literally anyone that's eligible for an extension.
Well, they extended Cam a year ago.
Right, but I'm talking about like this year they could have extended him again.
Oh, again to
save
to
this
get the
year's
money.
cap
Right.
number.
No, right. I know what you're saying.
And,
you're right.
And that tells me that if there's enough talent in the building to replace him soon,
he might not be in their plans. Right.
Right.
I think that's a big part of why they went that route.
I agree.
I think the suspension is just icing on the cake, and that sucks. Obviously, well, look, we got to find out what it is. We got to find out what the story is. And, he may be, I don't always believe the players where they're like, well, I took some over the counter. I didn't know. I had to check down, blah, blah. It does happen. It does. I don't know what, he's been doing, but I know he's recovering. He's trying to get healthy, trying to be better. I got no problem with it. If you get caught, you get caught. Obviously, he got caught doing something. We'll get into that in just a minute. I do want to make mention, congrats to Lamar Jackson. I guess being the highest paid really mattered to him. He's not the highest paid in guarantees. To me, that would be what would matter more than – because think about it, 5-year deal for what, $260? What if something happens in year 3? You know what I mean?
You're really betting on yourself.
You're betting on, and that's okay. He bet on himself without needing an agent. I love, I see he doesn't need an agent. I don't care if he has an agent or not. Whatever. Get it. Do it with an agent. Don't do it with an agent. Get it done. You got it done. Fantastic, man. You're set for life, and that's fantastic. I just find it, I always look, all right, so you look at the highest in guaranteed money. You got Deshaun Watson, you've got Kyler Murray, and now you've got Lamar Jackson. I would have thought, if I'm Lamar Jackson, don't get me wrong, the 185 is a lot of money. I would have thought he would, 210. You know what I mean? I'm better than Kyler. That's what I would say if I was him. I'm better than Kyler.
We kind of
I don't care what you think they paid him or shouldn't have paid him. That's what they paid him. I am better. You want to make look, you don't want to go as high as 250? Okay, you know what? I could come to rational thinking and say, all right, well, maybe that's a little way out there and the Browns just overpaid. Okay, I can live with that. But I at least deserve to be paid more than Kyler Murray. The flip side is this, and here's the reality. Lamar Jackson, almost said Cam Newton. Lamar Jackson hasn't been the same Lamar Jackson in a while. He needs to stay healthy. Look, past 2 years, he's had some phenomenal moments. There's no doubt about it. He's a really talented guy. They win when he's there. But he's also been hurt quite a bit, and he hasn't produced the way he produced. Everyone's like, MVP. Yeah, that was 2019. was a long time ago. I hope he gets back to the that kind of play. And when I'm paying him that kind of money, he better win me a championship. But I was a little surprised by that. But I guess it mattered to say I'm the highest paid player in the league or quarterback in the league at $52 million a year. Doesn't mean you're going to get it all. Maybe he does. I hope he does. I mean, $260 million. You kidding me? For 5 years? Smell you later. Sayonara, I'm out of here. Like I don't care. You know what I mean? My body's had enough at that point. But I did find that interesting. You know, that was important to him. I would have thought just guaranteed. Just give me, you know, the guaranteed money. That's what I know as a former player. That's what I'd be looking for. You know what I mean? So anyway, good for him.
Thought
he got the deal.
Didn't we kind of all think that was the holdup?
Yeah.
Was the guaranteed part?
We kind of gave into it.
Yeah.
A little, but still $185 million. So I'm not, you know, but Kyler Murray's at $189. I know it's only $4 million.
We all thought it was about the Deshaun Watson guarantees.
Right.
And Lamar was looking at that, and that was, I thought that's what the whole thing was about.
Well, he must have realized that it wasn't going to happen.
Because Jalen Hurts wasn't worried about Deshaun Watson. Jalen Hurts got his deal done.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
No,
it's
he
like,
didn't care about that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I don't know. But listen, he got paid.
Yeah.
Congrats. Ravens got their guy.
Let me throw this at you. Maybe it's fair, maybe it's not. Take Jalen Hurts and take Lamar Jackson next 5 years. Who plays the entire 5 years? Who does not? If you have to pick. Maybe they both do, but
So you're not asking me who I think is better. You're asking me who I think will stay
who's
more
gonna upright.
Get
they're 5 year deals. One's for $255, one's for $260. If they play all 5 years, they get all the money, right? Who's going to play all the 5 years? I'm going to say Jalen Hurts.
Oh, who will be an Eagle and who will be on their team in 5 years?
I mean, I don't know. I think Lamar Jackson, his best years may be behind him. I hope they're not. Again, he's shown glimpses the past 2 years, but it hasn't been like when he, you know, dominated the league. He hasn't dominated in a long time. And I like him. I do.
Lamar can throw the ball. He can.
Oh, yeah.
I understand.
Yeah.
And that's been a whole thing that people have talked about. Can Lamar throw? Lamar can throw. But Jalen Hurts has shown me more as a passer than Lamar Jackson.
I take Jalen night and day right now over Lamar Jackson.
Now he's had better weapons.
I agree, but no, he's better.
But he's just
better
shown
from
me
the
more.
pocket. He can run just as good, if not better. Well, they're probably pretty close. They're probably pretty close in running.
Oh, Lamar's a better runner.
Yeah.
I
mean, no one's catching Jalen Hurts. No one's catching Lamar Jackson, right? That's what I mean by that. But maybe shiftiness throughout the traffic, you give it to Lamar. But, I mean, Jalen Hurts, nobody's catching his ass either.
Some DBs might catch Jalen.
I don't think so.
But Lamar,
show it.
I think Lamar, other than maybe Michael Vick, is the best running quarterback we've ever seen.
Well, that's why he's missing too many games, maybe, too.
That's true. I will say, though, to be fair, though, about that point, I don't know about last year. I'm not totally sure because I think he got hurt in Jacksonville from what I remember. But anyways.
Oh, Lamar?
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know if he did, but he missed significant games the last 2 years.
But a lot of the time he missed was because of his contract. It was kind of a weird deal this past year. But the year before, when he got hurt, his injury was in the pocket.
Yeah.
To be fair.
Yeah.
I totally see what you're saying. I totally agree. Part of the problem is whether you get hurt in the pocket or out of the pocket.
Yeah.
Afterwards, if you're not the same guy mobility-wise, that affects you.
Yeah.
Versus if I'm Brady and I tear my ACL in 2007, I don't run anyways.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Well, look, I think when Vic, that first year, I mean, he was a great thrower too, Vic. I mean, he could sling it. That guy's arm was absolutely
Vic could throw
insane.
it from here to Los Angeles.
No doubt. He was incredible. But remember, his second year or third year, that's when he got his leg broken, taken off and running. Baltimore caught him. I think that changed him a little bit. Like you can't. I mean, you can look. We see it. You can take your chances. Lamar Jackson, not the biggest dude in the world either. You know, taking those shots. He's still a very good player. I think people though they're thinking back to 2019, and to me that's a long time ago. Now with that kind of money, and I say that about any quarterback, I don't care who it is, you better win a championship. You better bring a championship to whatever city you're playing for.
That's why, I like Lamar. This is not an anti-Lamar thing.
I like Lamar too. I'm not saying that at all. I just think that, look, congrats to him. I thought he would have gotten more guaranteed. But when I'm looking at the top QBs in the game today, he's not, he's top 8, like we've said.
He's on the outside looking in.
For the top 10. I mean, he's top 10. But
no, top 5, he's outside looking in.
I don't think he's top 5.
I think he's 5. 6-7,
probably 7-8 somewhere. Yeah. Like I said, again, that's still top third of the league. He's still a great player.
And again, I think we've both established that we like Lamar, but whatever.
Yep.
The take that I don't like when people are arguing for Lamar, and it goes back to exactly what you're saying, is when they just constantly bring up that he's won an MVP.
Yeah.
It's like, okay, that was 4 years ago.
That doesn't matter anymore.
Like, he's not last year's MVP.
Right. That'd be different. That'd be different. You went back-to-back. Who was back-to-back? Rodgers?
Yes.
Yeah, that's different. Yeah, you're in the moment, current MVP.
Right.
You're not a former. But hopefully he gets back to that. They draft Zay Flowers, of course, OBJ. Give him some weapons. He's got one of the better tight ends in the game.
They've made his weapons better, for sure.
Mark Andrews, a great tight end. You got him, right?
They're taking away any excuses for him to not deliver down the field.
Yeah, he's got it.
I mean, OBJ, as you said, OBJ, Zay Flowers.
Yep.
Zay Flowers, electric.
He's little, though, man. You better be really accurate with that ball because he's a tiny target.
But because of their other weapons now, they can utilize him in a role that's going to work.
Kind of like Agnew.
They're not going to need him to go up and get a ball at any point.
No doubt. But again, congrats to Lamar. That's forever changing money. All right, I want to get into Cam Robinson on this. We're waiting on the results of the B sample as he appeals. The potential suspension. It looks like he's going to be suspended. They don't know for how long. Could be 2, 6, or 8 games. I saw for violating the NFL's performance-enhancing drug policy. I don't know. It depends what it is. All right, but let's just say. And you could use the term steroids, but today, technically it's juice, but it's testosterone, right? It's synthetic testosterone. You can get it at your local doctor. You tell your doctor, you have trouble in the bedroom, you're feeling weak, I'm not energetic. We'd be like, let's check your testosterone levels. Oh, they're low, Mr. Tom. Let's get you, jacked up on some testosterone, and you feel great. Thousands of people do it. I mean, men do it all over the place. I've done it before. I haven't done it in a very long time, but I have, and it does. It brings your testosterone up. You're better in the I'm not going to say that. I was going to say weight room, but then I was like, oh, that's going to sound terrible. Better in the but you are. You get in the weight room. This is a
Friday episode for sure.
Happy Friday. But no, you're getting stronger in the gym. Your recovery's great. I mean, you just feel great. And then look, for a long time, HGH was either non-detectable or they didn't test for it. So there's ratios. It's a little bit. I don't know where they're at today. All I know is that not too long ago, they use these ratios of your testosterone level, right? Here's your baseline, what it should be. Let's test it. Well, if it's 4-1, at one time it was 4-1. If it's 4-1 or higher, you're busted, right? So if you fit it underneath the 4-1, you don't have a negative test, but you could double your testosterone. Like the Olympics is 2-1 or 1-2, however they do it, right? The Olympics is really tough. I think it's even less than that. Like you can't have hardly anything that's out of the whack. If you're supposed to be 800 to 1200, whatever it is, you can't be 1350, right? Or whatever that number is. So look, have guys been taking Yes, you'd be shocked how many do. And I'm sure that I don't know how many. And what they're doing today, obviously they're doing something. Again, I want to see what he's doing before we. And I don't care. I don't look down on that. Hey, he's trying to do whatever he has to do. If the case is, and I'm not saying that he's on testosterone or anything like that. I'm just saying I think the NFL's a little hypocritical in this thing. I think you should allow some of it, depending on what it is, if it's controlled. I mean, come on, it doesn't matter in the fight game. Like MMA, all those guys are juiced out of their minds, and fans go crazy for it. Do you really care that one guy's on juice, the other guy's on juice, or they're both on juice? I mean, what if it was allowed? Would it bother you? And don't give me the kid talk. The kids shouldn't be doing anything unnatural. That goes for drinking alcohol, smoking cigarettes, vaping those stupid vape things, whatever. They shouldn't be doing any of that crap. This isn't about the kids. This is about professional athletes competing against other professional athletes. Is it that big of a deal? How would you feel about it? And what if it was controlled? And not a controlled substance, of course, but what if it was controlled? Hey, you can only take this, right? Growth hormone, can't take it. Supposedly it's not that great for you anyway, especially if you've got other things growing in your body. But testosterone, we'll allow you a level of testosterone. It helps with recovery. It helps with strength. It does. I know people be like, well, that's cheating. Well, is it cheating if the NFL allows it? Right? What if they just say, you know what? Maybe it's not that bad for our players to be on a little bit of testosterone or a little bit of juice. Maybe it helps them recover better. Maybe it helps them whatever. You may not be a believer in it. I don't really care. And if you haven't tried or you don't know that much about it, then you don't really have a leg to stand on. It's just whatever. So to me, and I'm not talking high school. I know what you're going to say, well, then it's okay in high school. No, it's not. No, it's not. Test them in high school. You cannot take performance-enhancing drugs, period. It's okay in college. No, it's not. Do it in college. Although I highly doubt, I think you can get by with it in college too. I don't think it's rampant, but I think you'd be surprised at how many guys have taken something and never got caught. So I don't know. To me, I mean, if they allow it and you get to choose if you want to or not, then it's not cheating, right? I know everybody with baseball, it's cheating. You know, they gave them amphetamines, which wasn't cheating. You know, so they could, get all pepped up for the game. But, geez, that ball, it's amazing. That ball not only travels farther when you're juice, but all those line drives in the infield, man, they would go right through the glove. Did you know that? Burn a hole right through the glove. It'd go right through because it's so much harder because the guys were on steroids. I don't know. And again, maybe steroids is the wrong word. Maybe we go in, it's what do they say? It's called TRT, right? Testosterone replacement therapy. That's what they call it. You see an older guy like me all jacked up, he's most likely on testosterone TRT. I mean, it's hard to stay big when you get older. It's okay. I'm thinking about getting back on it, to be honest with you. I'm not kidding. You feel great when you're on
now that I say this.
I don't care. I mean, people probably figure that out anyway. And look, I think in today's day and age, professional athletes I'm talking about. Just professional athletes allowing to take whatever they needed or felt like to be better, to recover faster, whatever it may be.
And guys that are going to be in environments where they're around people that know what they're doing and know how to handle things properly.
Well, yeah, so guys would...
That's the problem with, and again, it's kids as well, but also in high school, you'd have people doing stupid stuff and not knowing what they're doing. If it's an NFL player, they're going to be in the medical facility. They get their
blood checked every week. They do all this stuff that you have to do. If you got to take some, choline, they use to coat the liver from time to time. If you got to do something like that, you do it. And I'm not talking this, DECA and this hardcore, bodybuilder stuff. I'm talking a little bit of testosterone to help them along the way. I don't think it would be that big.
Especially somebody like Cam Robinson that's had a lot of injuries.
If I'm coming off an injury, can I not? Is that cheating?
I mean, that dude's knees are...
Look, here's the deal, okay? At the end of the day, you got to be able to play the game. And I saw many guys in the weight room that were strong as everything you could imagine. The weight they would throw around, you'd be like, your jaw would drop. You'd be like, and then some of them on the field were unbelievable. And some, you'd be like, where'd all that strength go? I just saw you, bench press a house, and I just knocked you on your ass. I just saw you squat 1,000 pounds, and you're on the ground. What? This doesn't make sense. And by the way, it flips around where you see guys in the weight room that aren't strong at all, and then they get out on the field, and they're strong as all get out. You're like, whoa. It's like that grip strength, that really tendon strong. You're not getting them off you. It's just that
and I feel
different kind of strength.
I mean, I didn't play pro ball like you did, so I don't know quite as well, but I feel like a lot of dudes that might be ridiculously strong and, like you said, throwing up all kinds of weight are stiff.
Right.
Now, not everybody. There's a lot of guys that can really push weight, that can move, but there's also a lot of dudes that are stiff. And I think part of the reason they get pushed around is their movement sucks.
Yeah, I would like, and I don't have the study, but there should be a study about injuries. I'd like to know the past, are injuries up the past 10 years prior to the past, the 10 years before that? You know what I mean? Where are the injuries? I do know you see a lot of Achilles injuries in young dudes, which that used to be an old man's injury. I know that. You see other injuries, pec tears that are happening. Those can happen. I'm not saying you have to be on juice to have a pec tear, but They can happen without it, but you just got to wonder, like, because, you get all this strength and maybe you do lose some of that flexibility, especially the upper body. Everyone thinks you're just flexible in your lower body and hips. You got to be flexible in your upper body. I'm talking about everyday people. Like, you should not just stretch your lower body, you should stretch up, up top, too, to keep it all loose and whatnot. Anyway, look, I don't know what Cam took. I don't really care. I think it sucks that he's going to miss games, especially if it's something that, I don't know. We'll see what it is before I make that comment, but wish him the best. Are his teammates going to be mad at him? No, they're going to be like, all right. Well, actually, some of them may say, hey, man, what was it? So I don't have, I don't take that stuff, But they're going to be like, he'll be back. He's one of us. He'll be here for the year. I tell you what, I think I want to see Anton Harrison up close and personal on the field, but if he's got the goods, he may be my left tackle. And I know everyone's like, well, Walker. I'm like, and I love Walker. Look, as a person, I've only met him he's a really good guy. Walker's a good dude. He is. Him and Ben Barch and a few of the others I've met a few times. They're really, really good people. And Walker is the prototypical tackle. There's no doubt. Size, speed, length, all that stuff. I think he's gotten better, whatnot. But I said it on Jaguars today. If he was their left tackle, he'd be their left tackle. Hands down. They wouldn't say, I know everyone's like, well, he plays left, but right, blah, 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 blah. Well, guess what? If they felt that way, they'd be like, you're my left tackle. Maybe we'll move Cam. If you're that, you know what I mean? If you're my left tackle, everyone else is going around you. So I don't know. We'll see where everybody ends up. And it should be an open competition. I would believe it would be, right? Got the young rookie coming in. What has he played? He played one, I think, game at right tackle. And then the rest at left tackle. He said he'll play anywhere, and I believe him, so that's cool. And at the end of the day, you just want the top 5. I don't care if Walker plays right tackle, left guard. I don't care if Anton, you don't draft a left tackle. No, well, guess what? If a right tackle can get $60 million guaranteed money, you can draft a right tackle high in this game. You know what I mean? So I think it's a great pick. I love the way Trent worked the deals. I'll be honest with you. I'm on there. I was like, come on, please. I'm about to fall asleep. Hurry up and make the pick, for crying out loud. I thought if they went back one more time, I was just going to be like, oh, my gosh, please.
Right before the pick, they go to commercial. Right, You're like, oh.
I'm like, come on. I need that extra 15, 20 minutes, But reportedly, someone else tried to trade again, and they said, no, we're gonna stick and make our pick. And they did. Anton Harrison, welcome to the Jaguar family, baby. Looking forward to watching you, man. It's going to be great. Hope you enjoy your weekend out there, whatever you may do. The draft, of course, on tonight and tomorrow. We'll be, again, at Whiskey Jack's, Atlantic Boulevard in Atlantic Beach. We take the stage at 8:30. They got TVs galore. The draft will be on. It's going to be a great big party. You're going to have a great time and hopefully enjoy some great music. Great for my musicians. I'm really just kind of the mouthpiece, I guess. Running the front. Hope you all have a great weekend. All right, till next time, stay safe and be cool out there. And we'll see you right here on Catching Up with Tommy Mack. Peace.